Hi guys, welcome to session 3 of our Mindful Minutes. I hope you enjoyed last week's worksheet and you've been able to apply some of the tools we have gained from the 2 classes we've had so far. Today's class is titled Our Body is Our Temple. Given I'm a yoga, Pilates and dance educator and coach, I'm very passionate about the body. I'm very passionate about knowing that there is a huge connection between my mind and my body, and that when I don't look after and care for my body, it has an enormous effect on my mental and emotional well-being. So today I want to delve a little into how our bodies are our temple, how they show up for us without even being asked to every single day, and the little tips that we can do and apply in order to care and nurture for it a little more. Now, I'm not about to sit here and tell you what you should eat, how many hours sleep a night you should get, and how much exercise a day you should do. That's absolutely not what I'm telling you to do. Instead, what I'm going to do is just kind of enlighten you on the connection between the mind and body, and how things like nutrition, exercise, sleep, all have a really pertinent effect on our emotional and mental well-being. Now, given we only have one of these guys, if we choose to treat it poorly, if we choose to not nourish it, not move it, not give it rest, and we talk to it in a negative way, chances are all of our actions are going to replicate exactly that attitude towards our body. If we don't feel good about ourselves, if we don't think good thoughts about ourselves, if we don't feel good feelings about ourselves, then our choices will reflect exactly that. If you are feeling crappy towards yourself, you are not about to go and eat a nutritious meal. You're going to grab something that soothes the soul in that moment but might not necessarily be so great for you. If you are feeling unmotivated, unenthusiastic and down emotionally and on yourself, you're not going to have the motivation to get up and be physical, go for a run, play some sport, go for a walk toward the beach or around the block. If you are not in a state of mind knowing that your body needs to rest and restore and heal to compensate for everything we put through it every day, then you are not going to prioritize looking at the clock and knowing that should be an appropriate bedtime and that should be an appropriate amount of hours of sleep. So the first thing I want to talk about is, how do you feel towards yourself? How do you feel towards your body? Do you believe in it? Do you say nice things to it? Or do you constantly ridicule it and blame it and yell at it because it's not looking, doing or acting the way you wish it would? Your body only does what it tells you to do. So if you are not respecting it and being kind to it, then it's not going to play out in that way at all. So guys, let's really briefly talk to the concept of what we feed our bodies. You know, food that we put in our body has a huge effect on our emotional well-being. I know this, I have 2 young children, right? And we don't have a lot of sugar in the house, very, very little to be honest. And when I give them a treat and we have some sugar, which is all great and fun, there's no good food or bad food. I just know the negative effects towards sugar and our mental and emotional well-being. I see it in them. They go wild. They go wild. It stimulates their sympathetic nervous system. Yeah, it stimulates their nervous system just in general, and it puts them in an adrenaline space. And they either get emotional, they're erratic, they talk back, they turn wild, right? And I know that they've had a hit of those artificial sugars and that their body isn't able to cope, and then obviously they come crashing down. Now, like I said, no good or bad food, absolutely not, everything in moderation. But if you're filling your body with food that's hard to digest, like really fatty, heavy foods, if you're filling your body with loads of artificial sugars, then your body's not given an opportunity to show up well. So if you get an emotional outbreak or even a physical outbreak, right? You might feel it in your joints, you might see it on your skin. That is your body reacting to something that didn't agree with it, that didn't support it in that moment. And I feel like once you understand that what you put in then comes out, then you make choices in regards to what you put in, because you want whatever comes out to be positive and not detrimental to you. What about exercising the body? What about moving the body? When we are still for so long, you guys know from being in school or even homeschooling right now, sitting across from a computer, can you feel that agitation build? Can you feel that energy has developed, that you need a shift? Yeah? If we don't shift that energy, it becomes stagnant. It's like it just stores in our body as stagnant energy. Now, anything that's stagnant is not positive. Think about stagnant, stale water. Yeah, think about leaving the washing in the washing machine for too long and forgetting to hang it out. Wet clothes, they stink, right? Yeah, stagnant energy in the body is exactly the same. Our body needs to be moving. The cardiovascular system needs to be stimulated constantly so fresh blood supply goes right through to our big toes so that our organs can work efficiently, so that we're pumping new fresh energy to our heart so our respiratory system is efficient. So there's new blood supply, fresh blood supply to the brain, so powerful. So we're alert, we're focused. So that's purely by moving the body. You get that 4 o'clock afternoon slump, especially in the school holidays, go for a walk. You guys know what it's like to be out and about and active with your mates. You feel great, right? You don't have 4 o'clock slumps. You don't have unenthusiastic 1 p.m.s. You're out, you're motivated, your vibration is up. Moving the body is pertinent, so maybe consider how much you move the body. And finally, sleep. You know, looking at our screens first thing in the morning and just before we go to bed at night is way more detrimental than we even know. Right before we go to sleep and very first thing in the morning, our subconscious mind, which is the mind that takes on all of the information and owns it and claims it as its own, is wide open, right? So if we're feeding our subconscious mind with junk, with social media scrolls, with comments and things that affect our emotional well-being or that don't support our self-esteem, then we're going to go to bed thinking all of those negative thoughts, or we're going to send ourselves off in the new day thinking all of those thoughts. Before you go to bed at night and first thing when you wake up in the morning, you want to flood your mind with good, calm, positive stuff. That is science. There is like scientific proof of this. I'm such a believer in it. I meditate as soon as I get up in the morning and say thank you to everything that I have that I'm grateful for. And before I go to bed, I do exactly the same thing. So guys, if you're scrolling through your screen, not only given that it's not necessarily positive information, but it's that big white light, you're not allowing yourself an opportunity to really rest, to go into that deep sleep. You'll be sitting in that REM sleep where you're kind of half awake, half asleep. And secondly, if you're not giving yourself a long enough window to sleep every night, going to bed late, having to get up with the alarm for school the next day, then you're not giving your body an opportunity to rest and restore. We look in the mirror and we see the outside of our body. We cannot even fathom the incredible system inside of our skin that's working overtime every single millisecond of the day. It runs a marathon every moment of the day. It deserves a rest and a break. Lack of sleep doesn't support you when you're unwell. It doesn't support mental ability and focus. It doesn't support the organs to rest, restore, and rejuvenate to work effectively, your digestive system, your kidneys, your lungs. It also doesn't allow your mental and emotional well-being to rest and recharge to start again the new day. So allow yourself to recharge your batteries with sleep. These are so powerful. Simple tools, but so powerful. And again, not me badgering on and telling you to eat healthy and sleep long and all this sort of nonsense, but rather me trying to make you understand the connection between how we care for our body and then how we show up in our everyday lives. And once again, that's mindfulness, guys. That's being mindful in regards to what you eat or don't eat. You know, undernourishing your body without much food is just as bad as giving it too much not so necessarily great food. So maybe you can check in and maybe you can start to see some parallels. If you have that anxious reaction, an emotional outbreak, or your body doesn't perform the way it should, or you have no focus, what have you fed it? What's your sleep like? When's the last time you moved your body? And the last thing I want to broach is your language towards yourself. What do you say to yourself when you see your reflection back in the mirror? Hopefully it's positive things. Maybe it's not much at all, but if it's not kind, if it's not compassionate, if it's ridiculing it or being negative towards it, then these are emotions that you're carrying each and every day. And if you don't feel good thoughts towards yourself, you're not going to make good actions and choices in regards to caring for you and your body. So the power of language is insane. Notice your language. Become mindful of your language towards your body. Guys, I think it's really important now that we've said all this stuff, and remember I've already said knowledge is power. Knowledge is great. We know a lot of stuff, but it's time to do the stuff. That's when you're actually practicing mindfulness. I want you to get out your journals, and I just want you to write sleep, nutrition, exercise, and language. Sleep, nutrition, exercise, and language. And once this video stops, I'll advise you to elaborate on them a little further. We'll do a quick meditation to finish. But I just think it's really important to keep checking in on those things and noticing perhaps how you show up in those 4 areas of your life in regards to caring for your body. Okay, without further ado, I'll shush now and let you guys sit and chill and meditate. Rest your palms on your knees. Kind of give yourself a little bit of a shake and shake off any energy that's going to be unnecessary during this moment of stillness. And instead of putting our hands on our belly today, I'll encourage you to feel the feeling of the diaphragm expanding and deflating, if that's okay. If you find it hard to keep breathing and focusing on your breathing, put your hands back on your belly, because that touch might just support you a little more. Okay, when you're ready, close down your eyes. Nice. And today a little different. Can you take in a big deep breath from your nose? And today as you exhale, can you open your mouth and kind of give yourself a bit of a sigh? Good. Take another big deep breath in. And open your mouth and sigh it out. Good. Take one more deep breath in. Keep the mouth closed, a really steady, long exhale. Nice. Just return back to natural breathing. Notice the rise and fall of the diaphragm and the chest today. Given we've spoken about the body, let's do a quick body scan. As we're sitting here quietly, can you just take note of how your mind feels right now? Is it busy and racing with lots of thoughts going around it? Do you feel kind of like you're in a state of calm and spaciousness through the mind? And take your attention to your face and soften your jaw, the space in between your eyebrows, your cheeks. From here, gently draw your chin to your chest and just allow your shoulders to fall down your spine to elongate the back of your neck. Imagine that my palms are just resting on the top of your shoulders, and just feel the warmth as your shoulders soften underneath my palms. And relax your elbows, your wrists and your fingers. Your belly, your hips. Feel heavy through the bottom as it sinks into the mat. Your legs are completely relaxed, even your toes have no tension in them. I just want you to repeat in your mind 3 times, my body is my temple. I am grateful that my body shows up every day. My body is my temple. I am grateful that my body shows up every day. My body is my temple. I'm grateful that my body shows up for me every day. I just want you to spend a moment or so feeling grateful toward your body. saying thank you to it, feeling kindness towards it, feeling love for it. No one else will care for your body. This is your responsibility. We have one body that continues to show up for us every single day. Let's give it back the respect that it deserves. Let's be mindful in the way that we show up for our body every single day. Good work. You can blink open your eyes and just elaborate under those 4 titles in your journal how you feel or how you act in regards to treating your body using your nutrition, using your sleep, using your language, and using your exercise. So current, present tense. And your worksheets will evolve on that a little further next week in next session. What could you do in those 4 elements of your life to help support your body a little more? Have the best day. Namaste.